Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Positivity Vibe Tribe. And today's topic is all about attract your tribe. And so it's a community space. Super excited to be here and to have these conversations with everybody. Okay, let's get set up. Welcome, Eloise, to the Positivity Vibe Tribe. Looking forward to talking today about attract your tribe. And let's welcome up one of our co-hosts. Ron has arrived. And hey, there's Eman. Welcome to the space. Hey, good morning, Ron. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Truly having an amazing morning. How is the sound, the music level?
It sounds great.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. um, okay, can you load up in the nest from yesterday's show the same things, please?
Sure.
Actually, no, I'm going to make one change while we're setting up. I'm just going
Okay.
to add the actual show link for Track Your Tribe. That's the only change I'm going to make. But other than that, you can throw things up in there. That's
Okay.
perfect. Thank you. All right. So we are setting up our space today, and Ron is busy loading up the nest. So thank you so much. We're going to talk about this topic of attract your tribe. And I am just loading up something also so that he's going to have something to load up from our Attract Your Tribe show, of course. So just getting that for you now. And hey, everyone, hop into the live chat. Lance and Karen are already there. And I'm just going to set up a welcome to everybody. The chat is down the bottom on the right-hand side. So do get in the chat and have fun with that. It's something that we like to do. And even if sometimes you can't even you're not able to speak, or you don't want to speak, or you're busy doing things, you can just write some comments there in the chat. And yesterday I made a point of reading out quite a few of those things. So yes, just to let you know that it is a newer feature, and I've just in today's post, Ron, I just added that Attract Your Tribe show when you're
Okay.
ready. Hey, Rev is here. Let me get you loaded up. I know that you may not be able to talk as much as normal. So understand you are healing your throat. Yeah, hey. Welcome, Rev. Great to have you, Rev, with us. Okay, so it is a community space. So do start to request to come up if you would like to speak in the space. Love to hear your voices about this topic of attract your tribe. So let's get started here and start adding our speakers. And again, super warm welcome to everybody as you are joining this space. And oh, wow, I'm enjoying checking out the chat. Love it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lance. Jane is in the chat too. Yep, let's light this thing up, everybody. Let's get in the chat and light this baby up, particularly if you're not able to speak with us today. But you can certainly be here in the chat. So love that as well. Okay, so let's just check. Ron is loading up the nest. Thank you so much, Ron, for loading up the nest there. And we're getting set up. Hey, welcome to everybody here who's popped in. I see Abdu, Eloise is here, um, and Manuel, Beatrice. Hey, welcome to everybody. Khaled is here. Welcome to Khaled, Bruno, and New Values of Life Shan Yuan. Welcome. Sachin is here. So, really excited to see you guys. Michael has joined the space. Hey, great to see so many amazing people. Also, the Sober D is here. Darwin, okay, just doing a quick shout out to everybody. Ashley, Michael, great to see you guys here in the space and ready to talk about this amazing topic. Rayan just joined us in the space. Hey, you guys, love to see new faces. And do jump into the chat and share your thoughts or just say hi and enjoy that we can have this chat feature available to us because it's just another way that we can communicate. And what I've been doing is actually sharing the link from like yesterday's space below our original space card so that we can keep these comments and in the chat forever. So just to let you know, guys, that love to hear all your feedback and, of course, really value it. I will always go back after the chat, after the space, and try to catch up with the chat. Ron will jump in there as well. Ron is always all over the chat. So thank you so much, Ron.
You're welcome.
Okay. Hey, Jeremy is here. One of our previous special guests in the space, actually, he's been on our show twice. So really love this topic of attract your tribe. Our tribe affects us in every aspect of our life. So it's really important the people that we have around us in our circle. And that's why the Positivity Vibe Tribe is just such a sacred place when I head to the community page and see all the good vibes. Okay, so everybody, this would be a great time to tweet out the space and share it with other people because you never know who might find value in everything that we are sharing in this space. Okay, so love it if you guys can tweet it out and share it. And what we're doing is actually, Ron, do you want to share about something that we do as a thank you for tweeting out the space?
Sure. Everyone, if you don't mind, tweet out the space, and towards the end of the show, I will choose someone who has retweeted it, and just as a thank you to highlight your profile and give you some your profile some notice. So please do that. The best way to do it is to go down to the chat button, and you just hit under the main Positivity Vibe Tribe, Track Your Tribe. There's a retweet button. That's all you have to do.
Love it.
And yes, thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Ron. Yeah, I was doing it the hard way, as I do many things in life, Ron. I was heading up to the upwards arrow at the top and hitting the via. That is another route to share out the space, but Ron's way is much better, which is hit that little bubble down on the right-hand side, bottom, and just tweet it out and just hit the retweet button. I mean, that's too easy. That's too easy for me. So, yes, please share out the space, as we'd love to invite new people into the space and share everything that we're sharing. Hey, and hey, I see Adam is here. Welcome to the space, Adam. Adam has the great mental health community. So everybody, make sure that you connect with that community because it is really wonderful. And hey, Jody is here. Great to see you, Jody. Benny, hey, I know you people are going to have some amazing things to share on the topic of Attract Your Tribe. So do come up and speak if you're able to. And hey, Leanne, it's always wonderful to see you in the space too. Um, yeah, basically, we are inviting speakers up early because this is a community space. Okay, so let's do a quick tour of what's up in the nest, and then we can start to make an official launch. So first thing up in the nest um, is the fairly new super followers access of the VIP club. So it is a monthly paid subscription. And actually, later today, we are actually at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are having our second Super Followers space. So we're going to be talking about many, many things, especially it's pretty much a AMA about my career as a model, TV host, and my current projects in the movie world. And then also, we're going to cover off with some spirituality and meditation, if requested, or talk about some of the topics that we talk about here in this space. But we're going to go a little bit deeper and probably, see if we can help fine tune things with tools and tricks and so forth. So, super excited about this space coming up today. And then also, there is the show Attract Your Tribe. So, it's an under 10-minute show, just my kind of take on Attract Your Tribe. And there's also Attract Your Tribe affirmations. If you feel like you want to get into the mood and the swing of setting your intentions to be in the right mode and mindset, then I strongly encourage you to check out this show. And please do subscribe to my channel if you resonate with the content of my channel. So there is also the Positivity Vibe Tribe community link. So if you're not a member, we are over 6,700 members and growing strong. So do join that community. And really, this community runs itself. We have moderators that are wonderful, but it's really the community that is sharing and building all the beautiful posts and the essence of the Positivity Vibe Tribe. So one of the new things that just launched this week, Monday evening, we launched the Positivity Vibe Tribe NFT Universe Collection on the Galaxy platform. So there is a link up there. And our artist and team member is Stephen J. Caggiano. So Stephen couldn't be with us today because he was feeling a bit under the weather. But anything that you want to find out about, you can reach out to Stephen, and his details are up in the nest in that post. And then lastly, thank you to our sponsors, Wordsmith Pakistan. Thank you for sponsoring this show. And if anybody needs support with content development, reach out to them. Okay, so welcome everybody to the Positivity Vibe Tribe space. I'm Indra Bartona, a producer in the film and industry and TV host, plus founder of the Positivity Vibe Tribe, if we haven't met before. Originally, I'm from the Gold Coast, Australia, lived in London for several years, now based in Los Angeles. So the Positivity Vibe Tribe was created originally last year with a YouTube channel, and then it just became my personal brand. So now in Twitter Spaces, Positivity Vibe Tribe is just the perfect way to involve everybody in full engagement, such as all of you in this wonderful space. So I'm joined today by my co-host, social audio guru, RevMac Live, Ron Perry, our talented musician and podcaster, plus he's the head honcho of the community moderators. Oh yeah, he's a wrangler in the community. So welcome everybody. I'm super excited about this topic of Attract Your Tribe. And like I said, do come up and chat with us about this topic. I want to try something as an experiment today, just based on some feedback we've been getting here in the Positivity Vibe Tribe. we've been receiving some feedback that we're not having like kind of engagement between us here. It's like people come up for 5 to 6 minute plus monologues, and then other people, two speakers down, are saying the same things. So, what would really be fun, and from some of our feedback, thank you so much, everybody. The last couple of weeks, we have been listening to you. And yesterday, I actually timed everybody. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, at the 2 minute mark, set a timer, and then what I'd love just to happen is for some other speakers to put your hand up and chime in, particularly if you want to build on that point or if you want to talk about that point as well, because then we can have some interaction, and then the original speaker can always come back and chime in. You don't have to do your 6 minute plus monologue and then disappear and never speak again. We actually want to have you up here on the speaker panel, and the feedback is amazing that we want to hear more from you, but we want to have more interaction between the speakers. So let's try this today as a fun experiment of having more engagement with our speakers, going back and forth. You don't just have to speak once and then it's all over. It's actually going to be a conversation. So I'd love to hear that. It more like a conversation, not like we're up on the platform, even though you are up on the platform, literally. So I hope you're all going to embrace this concept, and it's going to be fun. And then we can have more engagement, because I know you guys have a lot of thoughts about this topic. So again, if you haven't tweeted out the room, please do share the room. And as Ron said, he's got the latest, easiest way to do this. Click on the chat function down the bottom right-hand corner, the little bubble, and then all you have to do is hit the retweet, and you've retweeted out the room. And then Ron is going to choose somebody that retweeted out the room and highlight your profile to everybody here in the space. So let's get going on this topic that I really love, because just having all of you in the space is actually a testament of Attract Your Tribe and all of these wonderful people. Truly, thank you so much for being here, everybody. And I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on Attract Your Tribe. And if you're not able to speak, or you're too busy, or you don't want to speak, you can actually write some comments in the chat. And yesterday I read out a lot of comments. Okay, to start this ball rolling, Esvari yesterday wrote lovely comments yesterday, and I read some of those out. So from Esvari today, hi everyone. It's just after midnight where I am, and I'm super excited to join this incredible space. So many uplifting moments and people in this positivity vibe tribe. Wow, that is a lovely way to get this going. And of course, superpowers of Lance and Karen were in there at lightning speed. I barely set up the space, and they were already in there. So I'm just going to read out Lance's first comment. We all put the vibe in the tribe. Come and join us in the Positivity Vibe Tribe. Oh, yeah. Love that vibe. Lance and Karen. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. So, Ron, any starting thoughts before we kick this baby off with this new concept of interaction, interactive mode?
I just think it's a great topic, and I think that we can learn a lot from each other, and it's going to be a great space.
Thank you so much. All right. And Rev is here with us, but he can't speak because he has a sore throat. So we are sending you extra love and light. Okay, Rev? Let's go to our first speaker, Benny. Benny, welcome to the Positivity Vibe Tribe space. No stranger. Are you comfortable with me putting you on the 2 minute timer and then hanging around to interact?
Yeah, that's fine. And 2 minutes sounds good to me. I think that's also something that I try to aim at when I speak, because otherwise I'll just start rambling. But it's good to be back though. I haven't been here for a while, so it's good to be able to join again.
Well, love seeing you here in the space. So, looking forward to this fun experiment of getting some interaction between our tribe members. And I'm going to hit the start button and now go.
Yeah, I like this topic about attracting your tribe, and I was thinking about it as I saw the topic, and it's for me, it all starts if you want to find a tribe, you got to find out where your passions lie and you want to know what direction you want to go. For me, at one point a few years ago, I started reading more and then stumbled upon Stoicism and philosophy and started reading more and more. And that kind of progressed into me having the urge to write and to create some content. So I started writing a blog. And when you obviously you write a blog, you want to have readers, so you have to get it out there. So I joined Twitter to do for that purpose. And I think a few weeks in, there was some other people interested in Stoicism who started the Stoic Spaces, which is something that we're still doing after I don't know how many months. And it's just and that kept growing and growing, and you keep meeting other people. And along that time, I also stumbled upon the Positivity Vibe Tribe, which I haven't really been on a lot of spaces over the summer, but I'm happy to join, and I always keep following it, and I like all the tweets and the community in in the community. So I think attracting your tribe, it's kind of a dual. It's the attraction comes both ways. You either find your tribe or the tribe finds you. If you put your out there, and if you put yourself out there and you express your ideas, you express your interests, and it takes a little bit of courage at the beginning. That was also one of my learning goals to get out of that comfort zone and to just express myself, and then you will find the people who you belong to. And that's something that I used to be more of a follower, more of a people pleaser, and now that I've started choosing more for myself, for my own direction, you might some people might deviate from your path, but you will find others that are more like-minded that will join you there. So yeah, that's my first thoughts on it. Is that the 2 minute beeper?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Okay. Wow, how do I turn this thing off? This is going crazy. um, is that jarring to have those little chimes going off, or is it because this is just like an experiment, just on user feedback? I wanted to try. How did you find that, Benny?
Yeah, well, I knew that there was an alarm being set up, but I think it was a little bit like a small chime. I think the vibration was something that added a little bit too much noise to it, but
Yeah. Okay.
the chimes were fine.
Okay. Let me. That could be my user issue here. That the vibration is being set off. Let me see if I can make this a better experience. Thank you for that feedback. Okay. All right. So, um, Udi, would you like to add on to what Benny just shared with us about Attract Your Tribe and his insights? Lovely to see you again here in the tribe.
Yeah, thank you very much. After a wonderful space yesterday, I learned a lot, and to share my opinion with others. It was a very wonderful space we got yesterday. And the same thing today. Yeah, I do agree with the previous speaker. Someone like me, I've been very passionate about helping people. And when I got into Twitter, I saw the opportunities that was scattered around, and especially in the blockchain Web3. So I did a lot of research. I joined a lot of communities at the in session. So today I've been able to develop my own project called Brains DAO, and Brains DAO is all about communities. So, communities, we are helping people to onboard them into Web3, and also giving them skills, and also pushing them into having careers here on blockchain. So, whatever skills you had in your Web2, graphic designing, web development, project management, and many others. So my tribe is focusing on bringing more other people into the community, helping them and pushing them to have their dreams and giving them the right skills for them to thrive in today's world that is basically of technology. So we pushing people to accomplish their dreams. So I am very passionate about that and sharing that with this community, this space right now that we are open to having people who love to be among others to help achieve their dreams, to push them into achieving the right skills in blockchain because the way the world is headed, we are seeing that science, technology is part of our life. And oh God, I have time is over. So I'm very passionate about helping people. So Indra, thank you very much. Love you.
Okay, so you can chime in later. Hang around, Udi. So, Benny, did
Yeah,
you have any thoughts to kind of keep this a interactive conversation about what Udi said about that he is one of also some of the reasons like he joined. I think this is valuable in us reflecting on our own values that we want to help other people. He also mentioned to help them obtain their dreams, to be part of a support network. I mean, these things are really, really powerful. That we are here to help serve others. Like we looking at the people that we're attracting around us can be an incredible learning curve because we get the opportunity to reflect on our own values. And both Benny and Udi have been talking about their values. Ron, did you want to chime in while I hit the chimes?
Sure. I think that one thing is important is that, to examine if your tribe is serving you. It's very easy to get into a situation where you look around and suddenly you realize the people that you're surrounded by aren't helping you progress as a human being, aren't giving you the skills that you need. I personally love to have to not ever be the smartest person in the room, to be surrounded by people that have a lot to teach me, to mentor me. And I think that comes with just having the wisdom of age, since I'm just so old. But no, I'm not. But just it's something that it's beneficial to me in my life and what I want to do and where I want to go, and that's always to be in a state of ascending, to be going up.
Wow, I love that. And wow, you were well in the at the minute mark, at the minute, just over a minute mark.
I try to
Um,
be as succinct as possible.
you certainly are, Ron. Wow. And okay, so you mentioned something about not being the smartest person in the room. And that is really valuable because we want to have people that can inspire us, that can lift us up, that can help us on our journey, and also to provide valuable learning and lessons because we do not have all the answers for ourselves. And I think that's what's really valuable about being in this space is that if you look around at all the incredible people in this space, we truly are blessed to have such variety of people from different backgrounds and how that can always give us something extra, as Ron, you just mentioned there.
Yes, and
That,
you just, oh,
right?
yeah,
No, go
and
ahead.
you just said that one thing about Twitter Spaces is the ability to connect the people that are on the other sides of the world, are just in a different in a different space in terms of what they do with their lives. I've learned a lot from people and from these spaces, and like one of my closest friends is Leanne, who's the public psychologist, and the wealth of knowledge I've gained just from her alone has been just amazing. And so it's just such a great thing to have that the resources available, to the human resources basically, to have these resources. And Donika is another one. She's been teaching for many years, and she has so much to give in terms of her knowledge and what she's experience in life, and I just love it. It's a great benefit, and I couldn't. I mean, before spaces or before social audio, I can't think of another way to do that, to connect with people on so many different levels.
Okay, awesome. So this is also a wonderful, wonderful place to connect with people from all over the world, globally. And just think about it, in conversations here in Twitter Spaces, we're here in real time. Plus, we have the recording. So I know that if people tune in a bit later, they can go to the recording and can still catch up and listen to everything that we're sharing. And I just also want to thank everybody for being so active in the chat. Do jump into the chat, it's on the right hand corner. And so many people are having a blast in there from this space. Really appreciate it. And it's really valuable. And now would be a great time, welcome everybody, to tweet out this space. The easiest way to do that is to hit the bubble on the right-hand corner and then hit the retweet button. And this is Ron's new hack on, on how to tweet out the space. Okay, Donica's having a few issues. Now, we're trying something new today in the space based on some feedback that we've been having from our community members. And what it is that instead of one person talking for, up to 5 to 6 plus minutes as a monologue, and there's no interaction, we are going to, well, I am going to time you, and it's going to be a 2-minute mark if you're still speaking at that point to kind of round things up. And that's not the end of your speaking, because we want you guys to interact. Otherwise, what happens is some people do a monologue about one topic, and then 2 speakers down, the same topics come up. And the feedback was really valuable, that it would have been great to hear both, and I totally agree with this, to hear both the speakers actually sharing, or the second speaker even adding on to something, and the first speaker even responding and going back and forth a little bit. So I love this idea, because we're going to make this more interactive, everyone, instead of, I feel like we're in theatre. And, we're doing a monologue and then bye. And I was
Right.
thinking, so and I agree with the feedback. It's really valuable. And I am learning. See how I learn from your feedback, everybody? You guys are grooming me to the space that you want, and I love it. So we're going to welcome, hey, Donica, welcome to the space. Love having you here. And I am going to hit the start button, hit go, as soon as I hear your mic come off and you're ready to speak. I know
Hi, Indra.
Hi, Donica.
How many
Hello,
minutes I
Donica.
have?
Okay, you have 2 minutes, and don't go away, because we're practicing this and trying this interactive mode. So the speakers that are already up here can put up their hand and chime in, and just like a conversation. So, all right, I'm going to hit the start, and when I say go, it's go for 2 minutes and chimes at the end. Go.
Good. I love tribes and I love communities because they're created. And this is why I created mine, with a purpose of offering a helping hand, a listening ear, a space to speak and connect with others. These spaces help us to bring awareness, modify habits, explore the resources, share mission, and make better changes. Be a triumpher tribe. Let's innovate and improve our communities. Never underestimate the power of determination and cooperation with each other, because every soul is connected with their mission, with their power and energy. When we support and love each other, this is when hidden secrets from your heart come up in the strength, potential, and perseverance, and share with your tribe and community so you can grow and expand faster and stronger. Act with the best collective interest in mind. Thank you.
Hi,
Wow.
hi Indra.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
This is Sheikh
well,
from
you,
India.
Wow, you were well below the the 2 minute mark. Thank you so much.
I
We're
like
gonna
to speak few words. Are you able to hear us? Are you able to hear me?
Okay, Shafi, what we're going to do is when we call on you, then it's a great time for you to start. And we have this thing that we're trialing. Uh, you'll get the chimes at the 2 minute mark. And did you have anything to share? I mean, Donica, thank you so much for what you just shared. That was really valuable. I love it how you mentioned the word empowering others and sharing resources. All these things are really valuable, and they should be some of the reasons that we do join communities, is to share knowledge, share resources, and to empower others with information. Thank you so much for that. Shafi, did you have a comment based on what Donica just shared? Some incredible shares. Thank you.
No, I don't want to add anything about Donika. I want to share something about myself. I thanks so much for giving this opportunity to speak with um, other country guys also here, and they too are sharing so many experiences. And thanks in the to make a part of it. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I like to share, but not now. But one day I will collect some of the valuable information and will share to all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Shafi, for joining the space. And sit tight. And as I said, this is a conversation that we are trying, and we have these little chimes that come in at the 2 minute mark. So then, as based on our feedback, our listeners thought it would be more fun to have more interaction. So we have Benny up here. We have Shafi is going to be listening in, and Ron. Ron, did you have any comments about what's been shared in the space so far?
Well, I just think that it's obvious that having your community or having your tribe is a benefit to your overall mental well-being, and it's just great to hear the voices of others express this. But I think that over time, hopefully, you gather those that are going to benefit you in the long run, that are going to uh, share with you some of the things that you wouldn't have otherwise in the human experience. And I think that Donika, for one thing, she does a lot in terms of she broadened my mind on certain aspects and how to for instance, she does a thing on Mondays where she does guided meditations, and of course you do that too, Indra. But she adds certain affirmations that are good for just self love and just I think overall, if you attract your tribe in the right way, it's going to be in a positive way. And I mean, just the positivity vibe tribe in itself is positive, and it's I think it's the only way to go really in life if you want to succeed more, if you want to be happier, and if you want to learn the best ways to cope with the things that we have to deal with in this life. And it's a gift overall, and it's a gift just to have these voices in our space and to hear from them and to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. Back to you, Indra.
Thanks so much, Ron. And you mentioned that the word affirmations. There is actually a affirmation that I created on my YouTube channel about attracting your tribe. So if you need to get into the vibe of attracting your tribe, then do check out the affirmations on my YouTube channel, and it'll kind of give you a little warm up and to get into the mode. Okay, so Benny, you have your hand up. Love to go to you as you may have some thoughts about what's been shared.
Yeah, thank you very much, Indra, and thank you everybody for the input. And it's interesting what Donika said as well about the interaction between people, because I was just going through some quotes, and I came across one from Marcus Aurelius where he said like people exist for one another, and I think that's a powerful thing to recognize as well, that we live for one another, and these tribes, these spaces, as we share our knowledge or share our ideas, we also learn by doing so, because sharing it makes you have to think a little bit more about what you want to say and how you want to say things. And I think that that's also valuable, especially if you are in a tribe or in a group that has similar ideas, and they can challenge you, because I think that that's also important to sometimes be challenged on what you want to say and have that feedback and learn to deal with it. That's one of the reasons why I started creating content, to have that feedback and learn how to deal with it in a better way. But things that I've also seen a little bit more on Twitter is that it's also important to choose the tribe that fits you and that has your goals in mind, because sometimes we might see things being said that people have different dreams, people have different goals, and it is easy to kind of fall into a trap where you might be chasing someone else's goal and someone else's dreams. So I think having that right tribe, that right group where you can find your message, I think that that's good, because Twitter can be very inspiring, but it can also drag you somewhere where you might not want to be at. So that's something also to look into and to be mindful of. But I think it's just really great, this, as you've been saying before, and I think Ron said it, it's just amazing how you can connect with so many people from different parts of the world, talk about topics that you're interested in or you want to learn more about. And sometimes you might not be the most knowledgeable about a topic, and sometimes you are. And that's how we lift each other up and reach that goal that we all want to be, and just to improve ourselves. So I think that that's perfect. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Love that. Everything that you shared. And I love the point also that being on Twitter, there are so many different places that we could go. So to be mindful of the spaces or the communities that you are joining. I think this is really powerful, that we are discerning. And that's where I just want to backtrack for 1 second and just point out that it is so valuable to understand what our values are, what we want to have in our lives. List out the things, and even bring to your attention also some of the things that you've been thinking about and that are important to you. And sometimes even journaling about these things is a fantastic way. Okay, Donica, I see your hand up, and I love that you're going to chime in. Please chime in.
Yeah, I want to say something, just little slightly that on these spaces I'm new. I just started on January, and but I love this community because I always, when I open my mouth, I put myself in somebody else's energy. So we have to give others what we want for ourselves, and we need to connect with simplicity and kindness, and we have to be truth and to trust ourselves, because people on these spaces are looking for hope, for healing, for inspiration, for to get empowered. So working with as a teacher for 33 years, I always think like this: kids are not at the same level, and one is preschool, one is eighth grade. But the point is, then we have to climb the ladders one at a time. Some people that are in the leadership position cannot belittle others, because I have heard from other people then DM me and they say, "Oh my God, so and so bullied me," but you don't see because it is behind the scene. So things like this happen. People have been belittled and bullied, and it really hurts my heart to hear that we grown up people can do like this. So we can't bring people down. No, everybody is in the same level. We have to be kind. There are people that don't have nobody to talk. They are so isolated. I heard last night, was like 11 o'clock at night, this shaking voice of this grown-up man, and he said, "These are the only voices that I heard all day, and it keeps me going every day." So we have to be kind, If you want to share, nobody is forcing you. You are willing to share. So share with kindness and generosity, because gratitude and generosity, it takes you a long way. Maybe we think that people don't know, but I can feel the energy miles away. So we all feel each other's energy. Kindness can take us a long time, and farther. So always be kind, love others just like you love yourself, and don't do to others what nobody want to do to you. So thank you.
Wow, that was spot on. 2 minutes. Thank you so much, Donica. And thank you for the important sharing. I loved where you went with this, Donica, about the area of being kind to others. And I think this also brings something back. There was a topic we had in this space. It might have been a week or two back about kindness has to start with ourselves. And so that really resonated with just what you shared, Donica, here in the space, that we should be kind to ourselves and kind to others. And remember that it starts back with ourselves. Shafi, can you put your mic on, please, if you're not speaking at the time? Because we're getting a lot of feedback. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. So I believe Ron was next, and then we're going to go to Stephen. Ron, did you have some add-ons about something that you've heard just recently?
I did. I was just wanting to talk about what these attracting your tribe and what these social audio venues can do. We have these Twitter Spaces, but there's also a wisdom community, and it's just anyone that wants to improve their lives or have people that can give you a lot of wisdom to download that app. But there's a tribe member here named Cecilia Fig, and she on Sundays I read Apple News, and I post the articles I read on Twitter. And she happened to look up one that I read in National Geographic about the California Zephyr, which is a train that goes Amtrak train that goes to California. So she, down in Florida, decides after reading that article that she was going to go up to Chicago to embark on that journey. But she met 3 people there from the wisdom community, and now she's in California and she's meeting more people in that community. So it's become a reality for her, and I think that's really, really neat.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So I think that's a wonderful example. So we never know who we're going to connect with and where it could lead and how it could inspire us. But if we are open to the possibility and if we're open to having these connections, then I think that the world is really just a small place, as we are sitting here in so many different locations and connecting because of like minds, because we're choosing that the Positivity Vibe Tribe and the members here in the space can share, can enhance us, can add something, can open our minds, can maybe even make us think about something new. And in Cece's example, can maybe create an adventure. How about that?
Exactly.
So there are so many possibilities when we let go, and we can even go with the flow. So that's one thing in being open to the possibilities of a community, of attracting your tribe, of attracting like minds and people that might even create something new within you, inspire something you haven't thought about. And I think the best way to do this is to be able to be your authentic self when you're sharing, when you're connecting with others. Believe in yourself that you are everything, that you are inspiring, that you have gifts and talents. Even sometimes if you're sitting there trying to think, well, what is it? Believe me, you are unique and there is no one like you in this world. And that's why you are here. And so even if you at that moment are not having the thoughts in your brain that are telling you that you have something to offer, you do. So you show up, you do your best every day, and you can inspire others by participating, connecting with other people around you. And Twitter Spaces, Ron, I loved your point, is the perfect place to do that and to connect with like minds. So absolutely be bold and reach out. All right, Stephen, welcome to the Positivity Vibe Tribe. Great to have you here. We are doing a little experiment today based on our community feedback that we are going to have a timer for 2 minutes, and then it's not about having a 5 or 6 minute monologue. It's about sharing your point and then also interacting with the other speakers, because apparently that's what the tribe want. They want they want to hear the other speakers chime in on what your points are and you on theirs, and maybe share some things, and not just leave and drop your points, but to stay and maybe build on some things in a conversation. So I am going to hit the chimes, and it is go, Stephen, and welcome.
Indra, it's so great to be back with you. It's been a while. Um, I'm so glad to be here. I'm going to try to keep this to 2 minutes, but I wanted to touch on some things that you said and some things that Benny said. So I was reminded of this Mark Twain quote that travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. And it occurred to me that, this is how we travel now, is that we have the internet. We can travel and meet people from all walks of life, from lots and lots of different circumstances. I grew up in a situation where it was mostly white people, all of the same religion, small town, and very little diversity. And I went from that situation straight out of high school to a university that was very small, had about 2,600 students, but it represented more than 70 different countries. And it truly opened my eyes to how connected we are, how much of a family we are, and how, it really does kill all of the uh, all of the bigotry and all of the whatever it is that we have, right? That prejudice that we can have. Um, so I just wanted to share that. And then one more thing is that I loved what Benny was talking about living someone else's dream. We tend to have shiny object syndrome, where we see somebody else's fancy lifestyle on Instagram, and we say, oh, I want that, but you don't know what it took to get there. And it's interesting. I'm really glad to be here, and I hope this is resonating with you guys. I've actually developed a process that uses some root cause analysis techniques to help people figure out what they want. Because in my coaching, I've found that people develop a narrative that they tell other people about what they want and what they're working towards. And then they start to listen to it themselves. But it isn't really what they want. And so we that's it. Thanks.
That was excellent, and I love it. Do you mind, Stephen, sharing where you went to school?
Yeah, it was a little university in Hawaii called Brigham Young University, Hawaii. Very small place, and they cater to Asia and the Pacific primarily, but we had people from everywhere.
That is excellent, and like you said, there's 2,600 students. That's a small university. That must have been quite the experience.
It was absolutely fantastic. When I first went there, all of my roommates were from Cambodia, and we would stay up late at night and tell stories about our childhood and experiences. And it was very eye-opening to me to see them growing up in post-Khmer Rouge, communist Cambodia, and how my life had been so easy and so simple compared to theirs. And it was extremely humbling. Sorry, I always get emotional when I talk about these guys because they're so amazing. If I can tell a story.
Stephen, we're going to come back to you in a minute.
Okay,
just when you collect yourself, and love that you're willing to share your story here with us. But just to keep it interactive, we're going to come back in a second. Okay, so we have another speaker approaching. Hopefully we can get you up on here. Yeah, so everybody, we're just experimenting with this 2-minute interactive mode as per community feedback, and I'm liking it because we're going back and forth and we're getting to hear more from the speakers and also sharing between each of the speakers. So I'm really loving this idea. And I just want to also welcome a new speaker, Dan, to the Positivity Vibe Tribe. I don't think we've had you here before. We are sharing for up to 2 minutes, and if you hear something that resonated with you from somebody else, jump in on, build on that point, or respond, or share your point, and then maybe somebody will jump in and share on your point. And don't just drop the information, because you are valuable in this space and our community wants to hear more. So that's why we've limited you to 2 minutes, and then you have to stay here and add more value. Love it. Okay, so Dan, we're going to go to you, and then Donica, we're heading straight over to you. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for having me, Indra. Dee, thanks for the invite. Really pleased to be here among you all. I think it was Stephen who was speaking previously, and if it was not, then I apologize for getting the name wrong, but whoever it was who was getting emotional there, I feel you. Those experiences are so profound and so great for perspective. Isn't it wonderful to have an experience that's so powerful that even as you recount it, those emotions well up? What a wonderful thing to share. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for inviting all of the rest of us to be vulnerable ourselves. I've had an experience of being vulnerable here on Twitter in just the last week or so that I've signed up. I decided that I was going to share candidly about an experience that I had in 2017 when my mother attempted suicide. I wrote a thread about this experience and how I helped her to reclaim the joy in her life. And the feedback has just been amazing. And so, like you, I'm stepping into sharing candidly, sharing openly, and seeing what comes back in this amazing community.
Dan, did you want to actually also add anything about the topic today, Attract Your Tribe? Because I think there is some connection there that you just didn't make.
Yes.
And it's kind of staring me in the eye, but I want you to do it, please.
Absolutely, yes. So I've been teaching mindfulness offline for a few years now. Since that incident with my mother, my teacher encouraged me to then go ahead and teach. And I'd been thinking about coming online and seeing if I could find a tribe. And here I am, and some amazing people have welcomed me with open arms. I actually connected with Dee earlier, who's here listening, and she just invited me to this space. And I've heard about 2-3 minutes of other people speaking, and I feel like I might be among a tribe already. So yes, that candidness, that openness is attracting people to me. Also, I've been attracted in here, and so it goes around.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dee, for inviting Dan into the space. Really appreciate it. And Dan is already feeling welcome. And I just saw Dee a second ago. Are you still there? Oh, there you are. Okay. I see you. Thank you so much. Love, light, and blessings for inviting more people in. Donica, over to you.
I want to finish what Stephen wanted to say because I felt him. I grew up in a communist country and we were like powerless to speak or to voice our opinion. And that is like it lowers your confidence and self-esteem. So coming in these tribes and practicing your confidence and who you are and sharing the story. And the reason number 2 is because I lost 3 brothers and my parents. Death have knocked in my door more than anything else. So I want to give people on these spaces that sense of hope and healing, and you are not alone. So it's always the purpose behind there. So I love what Stephen said and how emotional he got, because some people don't verbalize and show affection, but he's so connected, and that maybe boost him and make her a better person to turn his head back and said, oh, I witnessed, but I'm going to take their story and I'm going to share with others. So he's he is honoring his friends where they came from, and this is what we do. This is why we connect with each other, because we feel their love and their suffering and their pain and the story. We dress the story and we bring the story alive, so we feel with heart and not just speaking with mouth. So thank you, Stephen. And what Dan said was beautiful. You help your mother. So my mother helped us to be confident women through loss of the 3 kids. She gave us the power to see love and to love each other, because death can come at any moment. So be kind to each other, and especially, if you have a chance to be kind in these spaces. Thank you.
Wow. Just under 2 minutes.
Masterpiece.
Superstar, thank you so much. Stephen, I think this would be a wonderful time for you to share. And thank you so much for coming to the space, and again, for feeling that you can share and inspire others on this journey. And I think if you look around, you have Dan sitting right next to you there, who just came up straight after you started to speak. So yes, welcome, Stephen, back to share.
Thank you.
If you're
I'm
ready.
ready. Yeah. The reason this matters so much, and the way it ties into Attract Your Tribe, is that people become our tribe when we care about them. And when we are selflessly trying to lift everyone around us, they become our tribe. And that's what these guys were for me. So here's the story. So his name is Kim Sur, and he grew up in Cambodia, and he remembers being 5 years old, and they were in their little village in Cambodia, and all the houses are up on stilts because during the monsoon season, the floodwaters come up. And he remembers hiding underneath the house with his family, and he remembers Khmer Rouge soldiers coming to the house, and they demand the family's only transportation, which is a moped. And his father sends little Kim Sur, who's 5 years old, up into the house to get the keys. And he's terrified, but he goes. He goes and gets the keys, and he hands them over to the officers. The officers steal the motorbike, and they leave. It's a simple story, but here's the thing. He went down back under the house, and he says, "Dad, why did you send me? That was so scary." And his father said, "I knew that because you were a little kid, they would not shoot you. But if I had gone up into the house, I would not come back." Now, I had some trauma as a 5-year-old, but nothing comes close to that in my experience. And that was humbling. And I love these guys so much. Thank you for letting me share that.
Thanks so much, Stephen. And thank you for feeling that you can share that here in the Positivity Vibe Tribe. I think it's very, very powerful. And that connection that you felt to your dear friend, I think that is the thing that we reach deep towards ourselves, and that we all can feel connected, and we are all connected. We're all connected in this space towards each other. So we're sending you love, light, and huge hugs for sharing in the space, and also for just being vulnerable, to take a deep breath and to jump in and to share that in such a powerful way. Thank you so much. Sorry, Ron, I did see that your hand was up, but I really felt that I needed to acknowledge Stephen just for a moment. Please go ahead, Ron.
I was just going to say thank you to Stephen for sharing that. And I know that feeling of being humbled is also, there's a sense of shame almost with it, because when you grow up, and even if you had trauma as a 5-year-old, it doesn't, when you hear stories like that, it's remarkable how different it is. And I would, just feel privileged and understand that privilege of growing up without that kind of trauma. That's very deep. And, but thank you for sharing, Stephen.
Absolutely, well said. Okay, let's go to Dan. Back over to Dan.
Hey again, everyone. So, Stephen, as you're speaking so wonderfully there, I'm reminded of another story that involves Cambodia, and I'm vague on the details. It's a while since I heard the story, but it was of a monk called Gosananda who was involved in a lot of the refugee camps that were outside of Cambodia at the time that millions of people were fleeing the country. And the story was of a space for Buddhist practice being formed within one of these refugee camps. And the Cambodian government had said that anyone attending events in this space would be killed on their return to the country. Well, Gosananda went ahead anyway, and he built the space, and the day that they opened the gates, he was nervous that no one would come. And not too long later, people started to flood into this space. Thousands and thousands and thousands of refugees risking their lives to come together and hear this monk speak about compassion and how the antidote to all of the hate that was going on in the country was love. And I don't know what happened after that story, but it always stuck in my mind as an amazing event, an amazing display of bravery on all parts. And of course, there were horrific things going on all around. Who knows how many of those attendees survived. It made me think about how I can show up, and I can hear that that's on your mind as well, Stephen. There's the bell.
And that is the bell. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dan, for sharing a powerful story. I think these things, we just do not understand how deep our connection in community can be when things get real. I'm going to say that word, real, or when things take a turn. That's where we really need to come together and be supportive. And I think the last couple of years have been an incredible example of that, because of the fact of that's where a lot of these relationships in the audio platform, and I'm going to link back up to something that Ron said, across different audio platforms even, have happened. We have come together and connected and found our tribe, found our communities on this platform and many others because of the fact of we are sharing the same values. And I think that is the bottom line here. There's been a lot of value sharing, even indirectly, in the content that has been shared in this space. We're sitting here and we don't even have to put it in a box, okay? We don't even have to specifically identify it. But there is something resonating internally with us, listening to the voices in the space. And I think that's when you know, okay, I'm home. I'm surrounded by like minds. I feel I can share. I feel I can be vulnerable. I can be honest about who I am and authentic. And these are some of the things that actually help you to figure out, okay, I'm just going to be me. And by being authentic, I'm attracting my tribe, the people that will support me on my journey. And I think this is because this topic of attract your tribe this has become more of a global movement because of the last 2 years. And I mean, our hardships are nothing compared to some of the stories we've just heard with refugees. We have truly been blessed. And that's where I think we can turn around and count our blessings, that it wasn't to that level, and that we are able to connect, and that we have things like social media to leverage, to lean on between ourselves. And here we all are in this exact capacity. And so when we reflect on that, I think it's very, very empowering. I want to just head back over to Benny and check in with Benny. Did you have anything to share or to add on? I mean, it's been quite a journey we've been on over here.
No, it's just beautiful to listen to, and it's very inspiring, and it also shows that everybody has a story. And I think what you said as well, especially the last 2 years, like everybody has their story, everybody has their things, and they're very powerful to themselves, and that's where you can draw a lot of energy from. And hearing Stephen's story, how it has impacted him and changed him, those are the reasons why we interact with other people. Because if we just live by ourselves, it's a very narrow frame of reference that we have, and we don't really know what's going on. So that's why these spaces are so good to have as an addition to expand your view of people and stories and interactions. And it's just marvelous to listen to grow as a person. And I think that's really beautiful to listen when we hear these stories, and from everyone, to be honest. And we might not feel that what we have experienced is maybe less or different from other people, but it's our story, and it's something that we need to embrace as well, that it's something that we've experienced. And that's why these tribes are good to share these stories and see what other people have dealt with, and see how we can use that for our own benefit and also to support the rest. So I think it's just great to listen to. So yeah, thanks for having this conversation.
Thanks so much for chiming in. Appreciate it. And I think that's a wonderful share that you just contributed, that if we were just to just have our own frame of reference, it would be very limited. Whereas when we are here in the space, it opens ourselves up to others' experiences. And some of these experiences were just so powerful. And also, no matter how big or how small we think our experiences are, I think there's value in sharing them, because a different perspective, coming from a different frame of mind, is how we learn. And I'm certainly learning a lot about everybody here in the space, and also how we do benefit from being among people that are supportive on our journey. There's a lot of support that is here in the Positivity Vibe Tribe. And when I say that this is a positivity space, I mean that this is a positivity space that we share, knowing that it's going to be perceived in a positive light and that we are supportive. So that is why it is a positivity space. So I want to welcome James. Welcome, James, to the Positivity Vibe Tribe. And we're talking about the topic of Attract Your Tribe. And today we are doing a little experiment of, I am setting a timer with chimes at the 2-minute mark based on our community feedback. Since this is our tribe wants us to be succinct and pointed, and wants us to interact with each other a little bit more. So this is something that we've been doing, and asking our speakers to please stay on the platform, add more comments, and also build on other people's comments if there's something that's resonated with you. So I hope you're happy to play along with our experiment today, because it's been working rather nice. So over to you, James.
Hello, Andrea. Hello, tribe. How are we doing today? Just hoping that everybody's having a wonderful day and attracting your tribe. My first interaction with the tribe was probably about a month ago or so. My intuition told me that I need to get into Twitter Spaces, and I found my very first Vibe Tribe space, and I've been coming back ever since because of the wonderful people that share their stories here, and I get a lot of perspective on my own life from the other people that share, and I get inspiration from the other speakers, and I I like to listen a lot, but I also like to share my own experience. But that's basically all I had to say today.
Thank you so much, James, for joining the tribe a month ago. We're truly so blessed to have you in the tribe. And thank you for sharing that you feel like it's a benefit to be in the tribe and all these wonderful people that you appreciate. We really appreciate that you found us in Twitter Spaces. And this is another great example, I feel, of somebody that's out there that finds a tribe and then they're coming back for more. And really, I have to say that everybody, this is because of you and what you bring to the tribe in these Twitter Spaces, in our Twitter community, all the beautiful posts. And if there's anybody here that hasn't joined the community, there is a link up in the nest to our Positivity Vibe Tribe community. And we would love you to join if you're not there already. And you can always send Ron or myself a DM, and we'll be happy to send you a personal DM to invite you into the tribe. Many of the people here that I'm looking at post wonderful things in the tribe. And another thing that I just want to add on, since we're talking about the Positivity Vibe Tribe, thank you so much, James, for all that you shared and the inspiring people, is when somebody is not having a great day and they post that in the community, even sometimes they don't even know why. There was a comment last week that just warmed my heart. Somebody posted, I woke up and I'm not having the best day and I have no idea why. But they posted a lovely quote regardless, but I hope all of you enjoy this quote. Okay, so naturally, being the beautiful tribe that you all are, all these people jumped in and wrote uplifting things for this person and thanked them for posting something even though they're not feeling great. How amazing is that? Because they weren't feeling great, but they weren't going to just not share anything. They shared something in hopes of uplifting others along their path. And then what happened was this beautiful community just jumped in. And I am just, look, I am blessed to watch this and to absorb all the beautiful energy that you as a community bring. That's extremely thoughtful, that there wasn't just one person that jumped in there. There was at least 6 or 7. And it was a very busy day with a lot of people posting. So you would have had to search for this post as it started to get buried. But a lot of you do look for those things, and you uplifted this person, and you made them happy. So part of being in a community and a tribe is this wonderful value that you get, and sometimes it's so unexpected. And from what the person wrote, they did not expect that this was going to be happening. So this warmed my heart on so many levels, and I know it warmed their heart as well. And you made somebody's day incredible just by being thoughtful, by thinking of outside yourself. And that is something that a tribe can do. When you're surrounded by the right people, you can be lifted up. And something else that James just mentioned is that by listening to the spaces, that he felt inspired, that he loved hearing the people in the space. And others here, Donica, Benny, Dan, and Ron says it every week, how much he learns from being in these spaces. So I really, really appreciate that this is something that is just organic in this community, and the people that are part of this community, it truly is. Look, I'm so forever grateful that this Positivity Vibe Tribe is building just a beautiful, thoughtful community. So thank you so much. Okay, so Ron, did you want to chime in any thoughts on what has been shared recently?
Well, I think it's beneficial to know that the community really does uplift people and lifts the spirits of those that. And it's okay to say you're not having a good day. it's okay to admit that and to be vulnerable. It's also, that's another thing. Just people that have been vulnerable in the space today. It may not seem positive in a sense because being it seems like it could be seen as bringing the room down, but it's absolutely the opposite. It brings it to a whole nother level. I mean, I've enjoyed this space more than, and I believe this method now, and I appreciate the people with the feedback and I appreciate you, Indra, for taking that feedback and really responding to it, because this has been, the time, for instance, has gone by so fast, so quickly, because it's been so great to hear so many voices in such a short amount of time. And it wasn't like we were trying to, deliberately to bore people with monologues. That what people said was interesting and good, but it's just nice to have that interaction that's so many people, and I've enjoyed it a lot.
And I think that's the key, that we keep ourselves open to this type of feedback, and that this community feels that, yes, I can shoot Indra a DM and just sort of say, hey, I love this interaction because actually I got to hear more speakers. I was at work and I got to hear more different perspectives, and it seems to have more energy when more people can chime in to a conversation on the topic from different angles. And I think that's what they were talking about when I went back and I listened to some of the spaces. I did get it. So I'm really open, and I love this idea of of setting up a 2-minute kind of perimeter, and then encouraging people to come back and share. Speaking of that, let's welcome back Donika.
Indra, I want to say something about Noble Ron, to give him a shout out, because I've seen him in many spaces, and everybody loves him because he's that energy. Then he radiates, and he means well. He wants to support everybody and always have something nice to say. He resonates so good with people's energy and vibration, and he's very thoughtful when he listens. He is very intentional, and this is why this space today is amazing. That I agree with Ron. He said the energy and vibration and the stories are just in the flow, and it's so good because we got so much out of this. I actually am doing a webinar for Saturday. One of my good friends, she was like very successful, got shot, and she passed away on Thursday. And so she was very good friend of mine. By being in this space and listening to you and giving me a chance to talk, I feel like I have people around, then I'm honoring her, and you guys honoring our feelings and giving us the chance to talk and let out what we feel and how to express, because this is how we connect. Ron, thank you so much. You are a beautiful soul. I've been saying that to you, and I know that God and universe have so much for you, and you always support Indra so kindly, and you're so good. You're good with female, period. Maybe it's the charm of yours, but continue do that, because when people see your face and hear your voice, is that attraction. Oh, they are in the space, I'm going. So this is how we going uplift each other and bring positivity and healing and love, more love to each other. Thank you. Continue do a great job.
Thank you, Donika. I hope, Indra, you got all that about those good positive qualities about me. You can just send that out in a tweet. That'd be fantastic. No, I'm
Yes,
joking.
and
I'm
I
joking.
just want to say, Donika, thank you for the cash advance as well. I received that into my cash app. Yes, thank you. I received that just 20 minutes ago. I didn't know what it was for, but now I know. Thank you so much, Donika. Cash is king. Oh, yeah. Ron.
Yes.
Ron. Whatever
Ron.
your name is, you
Yes.
are fabulous. Love you to death.
Thank you, Indra. I appreciate that.
And I know you like a bit of humor, so I thought I'd just throw that one in there. Okay.
That's good stuff.
All right. So we have Dan. Dan's hand is up. And speaking of interactive mode, over to you, Dan.
Thanks, Indra. It's wonderful to hear you, Donika, speaking so kindly about Ron. This is something that was certainly lacking in my upbringing. I'm here in the UK. In the UK, most folks are quite reserved, and most folks will tend to shy away from praise. And so it seems to have been muted somewhat in the culture. And so I'm attempting to bring more of this. I work as a teacher, and so I'm trying to give as much praise as I can to students, but to hear it just being shared in a casual environment where there's no obligation for you, Donica, to shower on with these compliments. It's just spontaneously coming out of you. How wonderful. How wonderful. Let's normalize this. Let's make it just completely ordinary to shower one another with praise, because why not? Why not? Why should we be inhibited around that? So thank you, Donica, for your wonderful example.
I am a teacher too. I have 33
Oh,
years
you
of
are?
experience, and that's all I do. When the kids walk in the class, I'm like, "Oh my God, I like your hair. You look so good." They are half asleep, and I was like your pants.
Yes.
You're so good. Come inside. Oh my God, give me a hug. Let me squeeze you, and they love that. Like by the time they sit down, they're like all awake and happy to start the day. So we need to praise people because they're going to give you all throughout the day. And some days when I am low energy, they're like, Miss Gunther, do you need a hug? How you doing? Is everything okay? So praises are good.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to our next speaker, and we haven't heard you speaking in the space, I don't think. So warm welcome, JT, to the Positivity Vibe Tribe space. Did you have any thoughts on Attract Your Tribe, or you wanted to build on something that one of the previous speakers has just added?
Hi, hello, how you doing? Hi Indra, it's a pleasure to be here.
Hi, Jay.
So it's my first time on this space. Unfortunately, I had to get in and then went downstairs to do a couple of things. I couldn't quite listen to most of the things that was going on, but I'll stay and then hopefully I can get interactive and understand what's going on. But I'm a poet. I do poetry, and I've been active on Twitter Spaces for the past few weeks. I've been reciting my poem. And Darius, shout out to Darius, he invited me on the space. So yes, if it's possible, perhaps later or now, I would love to share a piece or two. Yeah, thank you.
Warm welcome, Jay, to this space. We love hearing new speakers in the space. Did you have any thoughts on Attract Your Tribe, because it is the topic for today? And hey, thank you, Darius, for inviting Jay. It's wonderful to hear her voice, and love that this was her first time and she came up. You're so brave, Jay. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any thoughts on Attract Your Tribe, or what you think is important in attracting the right people around you?
So I think most times we have difficulty in trying to conform around the people we're comfortable with or new people. Personally, for me, I feel if you have the right set of people around you, it either mends or breaks you. And judging from my experience, I am an ambivert. So I have a hard time trying to stay. I love meeting new people, but I have a hard time staying. I can keep up, we can, get in touch, but that back and forth communication doesn't kind of work well with me. But I feel if you have the right people around you, it definitely works well, and you can learn so much, because for the past few weeks, I've learned so much that I have not learned in a lot of years. I was just on a space a few moments ago, and I told someone, I've lived on Earth for 23 years, and this year is the best. I won't lie. And that includes getting to meet Darius. I'm so grateful, and a lot of other amazing people on different spaces. And you realize you have thoughts and emotions that you don't think others have or others ever thought of. and then you speak to them and then they get it so well that you're like, my God, you appreciate knowing other people. And then that kind of kicks you out of your shell and your comfort zone, and you try to conform to them too. You don't hurt yourself, but you feel that that happiness, that glimmer of new spirits, new stuff, new ideologies, new perspectives of in life with other people. So yes, I think meeting, attracting your tribe and being part of them, and them seeing you as who you are, with or without talent or whatever it is, the right people, gives you more life, more color. It adds color to life. So
I
whatever
love that.
happens, yeah, whatever happens in between, it's destiny. Just embrace it and move on. We all have shortcomings. Everyone has a but. So if my but can be subservient and yours can be too, we can kind of work it together. But if at any point it doesn't work out, you move on. We just keep the peace, and yeah, that's it. I honestly didn't have
Great.
any idea of this. For a second, I just you telling
Well,
me, I had no idea what attracting your tribe was. I didn't, until when you said, how does it feel like having the right people around you? Then I got the whole
mhm.
idea. So, but
Oh,
thank you.
great. Great. No, no. And it was beautiful to hear you describing your journey. So thank you for, again, being authentic, being your authentic self and feeling like you can be in the Positivity Vibe Tribe, Jay. Thank you. I want to jump to Ron because I think it's a great time to announce the person that's tweeted out the space, Ron.
Yes, absolutely. Today we're going to choose Kelly. Kelly tweeted out the space, and she is at Kelly Nicole. She's Wildflower by Expression / debunker of impossible and the word can't / intrigue. Oh, I'm sorry. Word can't. Intrigued by the future. She's innovative by nature, vet supporter, and that's awesome. Love that. Kelly, thank you so much for tweeting out the space today, and we appreciate it. Back to you, Indra.
Thank you so much, Kelly. A regular in the Positivity Vibe Tribe, in the community, a regular in this space, and a regular who also shares out the space well before, I would say 24 hours before at least. As soon as I post it, Kelly is sharing it, and Ron is backing her up on the writing some comments like, go to bed, it's late. So love that so much. Thank you, Kelly. We value you. We value your friendship, and we value you as a valued member of this community, always supporting this community. Love it so much. Okay, let's go to Darius. Darius, welcome. I'm sure you have some thoughts on Attract Your Tribe, and we are doing a new experiment today. There is a 2-minute timer with chimes at the 2-minute mark based on this community and feedback that they want it short, they want it succinct, and they want more interaction between us up here, the speakers, to chime in on each other rather than us launch into a 6 to 10 minute monologue. I kind of like monologues being a movie producer, but I'm going to say that you guys, the tribe, win because it's what you want. So, Darius, thank you also for inviting so many people to this tribe. So much love and light to you. Over to you. Go.
That's how you attract them. You kick them in the butt. No, I'm just kidding. Over the ledge. Let's effing go. Shout out to everybody here. So, what were you saying? Are you saying people prefer long-winded, long-tooth monologues or the straight in your face direct method?
They're enjoying around the 2-minute mark and some live interaction from others here. That's what they're requesting more of.
I'm a firm believer. I'm going to reverberate a lot of what's been said in the space already, and that's just being your complete authentic self. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, man. Because, listen, energy is who we are naturally, right? And you meet that before the person even opens their mouth. We know that. I mean, unless they hadn't taken a shower that day. Yesterday's topic was showers, by the way, people, if you weren't here. Go back and press the record button. But anyway, let me not get sidetracked. Attracting your tribe comes natural. I don't know if I would say, oh, I set out each day to find my tribe and go get my tribe and rally my troops. If it happens, it happens. You know, we're content in who we are and who we already attracted, and with that natural attraction itself, people can see that and go, "Hey, something's going on over there. There's a fire. Maybe I can put it out. Maybe I can add to it. Let's up and go."
Wow, I love that. Okay, well, that was
Do
succinct.
I, do I talk too fast for you, Indra? Because you'd be like, "Ta, ta, 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 ta."
Well, I was trying to like keep up with the direct quote here. I loved what you said about being authentic. If there's something that is the most important thing, is when we're authentic, and it's true, we immediately connect with others that are at the same energy, the same frequency. I mean, we are all pure energy. And to be able to just like tune in to our natural vibration of the energy, that is truly a gift. To just be comfortable being yourself, be comfortable to share with others your authentic self. And that is when we do immediately connect with others that are at the same energy field, vibration, if I can say that so boldly. And that is what, Darius, I really loved about what you just said, that we are pure energy. And even, how many times do you pick up energy without even knowing it? Okay, we're in the Twitterverse. But even from a tweet, somebody sends out a tweet and you connect with that person because you love what they're saying in the content, but actually it goes well beyond that. We actually connect with the vibration, with the energy of that person. So we are connecting with their vibe. And look, we come in all shapes and sizes here as far as our big personalities, our small personalities. We're introverts, we're extroverts, we're somewhere in the middle. And it's about that energy. Regardless of our personality type, we can pick up that energy from even tweets, from being in these spaces, listening to voices. There is an energy of that you're going to pick up when you're connecting with others in the space. When you're listening, when you're speaking, others are going to be listening to you and connecting, and vice versa. So this is truly a beautiful situation to happen, to be able to be in the spaces, to be on Twitter, to be on social media, and to be able to pick up and fine tune. And before you know it, you look around and here we are sitting in the Positivity Vibe Tribe space. So here we are, and amazing.
And
And yeah,
speaking
chime
of
in.
attracting vibrationally, and speaking of attracting vibrationally, Indra, we have Psychedelic in the building as well. I'd like to welcome Psych up to the stage. She would love to chime in on this topic as well. And once again, shout out to everybody else here.
Hey, Psychedelic, request to speak, and we'll bring you up here. And thank you, Darius, for inviting your friends along to connect in the Positivity Vibe Tribe. I know you've been inviting a lot of people, and this tribe is growing and getting crazy, and really loving that. So, absolutely. So let's go to our next speaker. Psychedelic
Guys,
vibes.
sorry to update you, Indra. I'm leaving for the chat now.
Oh, okay. Bye. Thank you, Shafi, for saying goodbye. Okay, over to you, Psychedelic.
Peace and blessings. I feel like we need a goodbye emoji react, like something that just says, bye. So that way, I feel like happens in a lot of spaces sometimes. We want to be mindful and courteous and slide out, but sometimes it feels awkward. And anyways, peace and blessings, Indra, Darius, much love. Thanks for inviting me here. And speaking on authenticity. I am in agreement that authenticity definitely will align you with the folks with where you're at. I wanted to add in regards to authenticity that you really need to be real with yourself. So you got to have that capacity to be able to practice self-awareness. Once you're in that realm where you're practicing self-awareness, then we can effectively manage ourselves. And that's where I genuinely enjoy aligning with folks, knowing that we can go through all vibes of emotions. We have those four, right? Anger, joy, fear, and sadness. And in those themes of feelings, we can easily move through them together, knowing that we're going to hold one another in love. And there's always accountability in love and not in fear. So in terms of authenticity, I feel like it's multifaceted and very layered. And it's easy to say, oh, just be authentic and show up authentically. I appreciate when we break down what does that look like and what does authentic mean to somebody. Because if you can show up authentically on Twitter, but then off of Twitter, are you showing up authentically for yourself?
That's a great point. I'd like to open that question to the speakers. Would you like to chime in on any thoughts on being authentic? Because I think it's a really great insight there from psychedelic, as well as everything else that you shared. I'm just going to put my thoughts in first, and then we're going to go to Ron. I feel that when you're true to yourself, you connect to yourself and you're able to feel everything and just be real with yourself, as you said. We're able to almost like ask ourselves a question like, how do I feel? And to be able to be honest about how you feel and take that into the world and connect with everybody at the same time. And then also to check in with yourself. And we have accountability to ourselves to be the best version of ourselves, to nurture ourselves. So when you ask that question, to also be accountable and, okay, well, I'm tired or I'm thirsty, to then take some action. Okay, so I'm being real with myself. I'm hungry, I'm tired, or I haven't had enough sleep. Then to take that accountability action and to be able to do that. To be able to be honest with yourself when you're not vibing so high, and just to experience it and to go through the feeling, and it's perfectly okay. Just to accept that, because that is real, that is a part of you. So that is also being authentic. Ron, over to you.
Yes, I just wanted to say it was a great point by psychedelic, and the fact is that when I this third back in November was the third time I attempted Twitter, and the reason why it worked this time was that I finally aligned, my real self with my Twitter self. Before, for some reason, I was not being completely authentic on Twitter. Not that I was lying about stuff, but just not being my authentic self, and so that made all the difference. Back to you, Indra.
Absolutely, I love that. Thank you for adding that on. Okay, so
I,
let's
I,
go.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Darius, jump in, Darius.
I love what you said about being our best selves, because I believe our great friend Wallace mentioned that, there's no greater service that we can provide to each other than to make the most of ourselves, right? And as far as coming with a level of authenticity, whether online, offline, this person, that person, night or day, there's a level of, I guess, belief or idealism that no matter how a person shows up, that is what's divinely supposed to happen in that very moment in order for the next thing to occur, right? And that's in walking with that spirit of trust and faith and peace and love. And I love how Psych actually mentioned that there's no accountability and fear. That was a touchable moment. So, Psych, if you wanted to elaborate on that, that was very interesting.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Darius. What I suppose how I choose to live is having an inner and understanding that we are all at different parts of our journey, and depending on the social constructs we choose to adopt into our lives. Sometimes, based on my life experience, in my lineage, in my family, accountability was always held in the form of fear. So there was no room to open communication and actually talk about what was going on that led to whatever action that was now being held for somebody to be accountable for, because now we're focused on the repercussions and the discipline behind it, but coming from a place of fear. Fear of, why is this person behaving this way and conducting themselves this way? These are not the constructs I would want them to operate from, because that person, like let's say the elder or whomever the caregiver, feels like their paradigms are what's best going to serve their offspring or the people that they're caring for, instead of accepting that everybody is authentic in the way that they and magical in the way that they arrive. Everybody arrives wholly as they are, and we don't have to adopt your paradigms in order to coexist, co-collaborate, co-create. We don't need to do that. What we can do is surrender, right? How you're saying, Daria, surrender to the uncertainty, and knowing that we are all here as we need to be. It is divinely orchestrated. What is meant for us will be here, whether it's in all those emotions, right? And trying to harness the emotion of joy as your constant stream is a disservice to the growth that you can feel within yourself and within the collective, because we do need to feel anger, like all the things under anger, right? Like resentful, feeling disrespected, jealous, all the things under fear, feeling vulnerable, feeling overwhelmed, all the feelings under sadness, feeling raw, tired, weak. We need to be able to feel those feelings in peace, in ease, rather, more in ease with the folks that we are choosing to align ourselves with. And so when the energies that you're aligning yourselves with have that inner and understanding that, what, we are here to experience these human emotions, then we can hold one another in love. So let's say there is conflict with you and myself, Darius, right? Like some sort of tension, a disagreement. I feel comfortable being able to speak to you about it because I know that you are at that level of overstanding that, psych's not here. I'm not here to be malicious. I'm not here to attack you. There's a lapse in communication. There's
Psychedelic.
misalignment.
I'm psychedelic. I'm just going to stop you because the timer went off at the 2 minute mark
Oh, I
before,
didn't
and
even know that was a timer. My
yeah,
bad.
so
I thought that was some like background
no,
tinkly music.
no, no. So what it is okay. So feedback that I have had, and I am taking on as part of my responsibility to this community, is that recently that a lot of people talk for, and that was you were close to 4 minutes there, but at the 2 minute mark. I'm sort of setting it because the feedback has been that a lot of people can talk for like 5-6 minutes, close to even 10 minutes in monologues, and the listeners are actually requesting that the speakers don't just kind of drop their monologue and then leave the stage, that we're actually having a conversation and we're interacting a little bit more. And I think that is how this tribe started off. And then somehow we got into these long, lengthy monologues. And so the feedback has been to cut back. Now, as I mentioned before, I actually like monologues because obviously my profession leans towards that. And I'm fine with that. But our listeners are asking for more interactivity. And so that's why I thought I was going to try the chimes as a point, because what happens is some other comments is that we start to ruminate and marinate on the same point and start to go over the same thing instead of being succinct about our point. And I think that's something that we are all guilty of. But for the listener experience, they're requesting that we make it interactive and more insights and feedback from the other speakers and adding on. So on that note, let's welcome Victoria. I don't think we've had you in the Positivity Vibe Tribe before. So warm welcome, Victoria. and love to hear your thoughts on this topic of attract your tribe and what it means to you.
Yes, hi. I've been here as a listener a couple of times, but yes, this is the first time I've spoken. So, hey, I'm Victoria, and I've been working through the past couple of days and years per se, on this, and that I have to be the master of, not the master, but like, the ship's helm, the head captain or whatever, and of myself. And I really enjoyed hearing people saying it's okay to feel anger, because that's what I'm working on right now, is like the anger trigger and in me. And that, like, I even wrote a little tiny bit of a poem about it the other day to myself. And that, like, I have to nurture myself. What I also heard was like that when that blooming anger starts up, like in my, because for me it's physical, like stomach, chest, that reaction, I'm usually, there's something that is gonna bother me in whatever's happening, and I'm usually right. And I think that that's my whole life. I've said, "Oh, you're not right," and then I flame out. And so what I'm trying to do now is like, okay, I'm feeling this, and like even like now, maybe even the next few months, I may not be able to handle anything within like I would say 30 minutes, and then I probably need to walk away. And but that nurturing myself, saying the reaction is correct. I'm reading something here that is going to severely bother me. And usually I always find out, but it's always like a month later, I was dead right. But in the interim, I've alienated myself because like I react in all kinds of ways, and I've been doing it all over the place on Twitter somehow, and I may need to get off Twitter. And so that's all I wanted to say, was that I really like the self-nurturing of my reaction is right, but perhaps walk away so I don't hurt other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I think that was very powerful, and I think you were being very vulnerable with sharing that insight about your stuff, and your process that you're going through. I'm going to go to you, Darius, next. Our chat which is the right bottom hand corner, is lighting up, and I have to really say thank you to everybody for dropping in your comments in there and your thoughts about this topic. So many people are in there, and I am going to go in there, and I just want to read out a few things in here. Lance just wrote something very inspiring. I truly love eating spiritual food with my tribe. When we learn from one another, we all have a spiritual feast of life. Okay, so that's just some of the examples. Rajani Singh also wrote, I am so happy. So just being in the tribe, hello, happiness people. So hello, Rajani, and I hope I pronounced that. And then also somebody said the 2 minutes timer sounds great. Love it so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to go through this and make sure that I can catch up. Really appreciate everybody being so active in the chat. And then over to you, Darius.
Very quickly here, can I just say that alarm is extremely hilarious. That thing is vibrating and going off and flipping. I'm like, oh my God, Indra's a celebrity. They can't stop blowing you up over there, Indra. What's going on?
Yes, I abide with the tribe. I have to tell you, if two or more people make comments about certain things, I will take it on. If you send me a DM, I will certainly take it on in the literal sense and at least try it, to see if it is worthy of, something that we can apply here. So yes, thank you for your sense of humor. Okay. All right. So we have somebody in the DMs saying that we all need to respect the bells and the chimes and that they're enjoying it, that there's a little bit more crossover now. So thank you to those people that are giving us feedback, because we do want to make this more interactive and we want it to flow and all of us to kind of be succinct with our points, because that's when we can really truly listen, lean in, and then even go back and ask more about what was that about, or let's hear more about that. Donica, over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to be quick, but about the authenticity, I want to honor my mom. She had 8th grade school, but she was the smartest woman I know. So authenticity, I learned through my life many values that make me authentic and unique about myself. So I never forget when I came in America, I didn't know English at all, but I always knew where I came from, what were my core values, and how to respect myself. So with a little bit of, what I know in English, I use Italian and French to communicate with people. So what I did, I was sharing my tradition and background in different language, but the language of kindness and empathy and, loving each other. It is so easy. So why I say it's so important to be true to yourself. My mom always said, don't put a mask and pretend to be someone you are not just to fit in some society and to get hurt later. And she always reminds us of the Cinderella story. She was like, you are going to feel, if you lie or if you are not true to yourself, you're going to feel like Cinderella's sister trying to fit in a 2-size small shoes. Be like Cinderella, kind, humble, beautiful, helpful, inspiring, authentic, because authenticity inspires loyalty and engagement. People are drawn to those who are exude self-confidence, passion, and trustworthiness, inside beauty and empathy. So be true to yourself. You don't have, not everybody is going to love you, but if you are love yourself and you are comfortable with yourself, people are going to resonate with you and they're going to speak your name. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Donica, you are the superstar of this timer, because it is just now on 2 minutes. I'm giving you 100 stars. Thank you for being so succinct with your point and the importance of being authentic, and your wonderful mother. How beautiful that you mentioned her here in this community. So much love to her, your beautiful mother. I think that our mothers really do teach us so much wisdom. And I want to just jump on that point that you just mentioned. Being authentic, even if we're not everybody's cup of tea, that means that, okay, some people they may chime into this space and they may leave. They may try it a few times and it's just not their cup of tea. We are not their cup of tea. Maybe they're not ready to hear some of the things. We're being kind of very honest with ourselves, and being honest with ourselves takes strength sometimes. And maybe they're not ready for that. Maybe they're going to come back in a month or two, or maybe 6 months, and say, oh, hey, there's all these wonderful people in the space. The same people that were here last time. Darius is dropping his quick jokes and straight cutting through to the reality of this is life. Donica is telling these beautiful stories about her family and other things. And Ron is coming in there just with good vibes and sunshine. And hey, and I'm just naming a few people, but in this space, but so many of you, maybe we're just not their cup of tea at the moment. And it's okay, because then there's going to be another couple of people that are going to chime into this space. It's their very first time and they just happen to be ready to hear us, to connect with us. So that's how it kind of goes. And that is okay. If another thing I want to mention with our tribe and our community is sometimes people step away from you because they're dealing with things in life, and it's not even that you're not their community anymore or you're not their vibe. They just need a little alone time. And then before you know it, they turn up. And be ready with open arms and support and be loving towards those people that sometimes do take a little time away. And it's nothing personal. It's just that we are all on our own journey. So remember that and welcome your community and your tribe back when they turn up out of nowhere sometimes. Darius, over to you. And yeah, and then we're going to Kiki. Darius.
Indra, you're like, I mean, I want to use the word always. I guess, if I say always, you're probably gonna disagree with me, but I think you're like pretty much always on point as far as like your energy. I mean, you used the word connect just a minute ago, and that's very important. Like, a lot of people like to come up, okay, and share, and I'm sure this is the audience says that, all right? That's kind of where it came from. Come, share, leave. But this is an interaction space, right? We come up as precious stones, and as we interact, we begin to etch each other, right? And we then, by leave, more crystallized than ever before, more refined, right? Because the higher sharpens the higher, right? That's how we like to say it, not the iron versus iron, higher sharpens higher, right? And so when we come in and we interact with each other, that's beautiful. It's powerful. Like I would love to just come up and just drop poetry and bombs here and there, but if I'm not communicating with you, then how, like it's just I love it. I love the space. I love how sometimes you guys bring up topics and questions that may make me dive a little deeper and peel away another layer because we can always grow and we can always evolve. And the way we do that is by interacting with our energy. So 2 minutes up, I'm out of here. Peace.
Love it. And thank you so much for being supportive about this new interactive, connective mode that we're having, because I am really loving it too. How, and this is what I've noticed, Doris, the speakers that are up here are listening and then connecting and reflecting on something that the other speaker has said. And then they're adding their own points to it, which is really beautiful. See, everybody, part of us as humans, which is really important, is to listen to each other in connection. And it's actually a way of validating each other, of lifting each other up. And I think this is the really powerful thing. And I didn't even realize that this was the piece maybe that some of the listeners were getting at. I didn't pick it up until Darius just kind of clarified and dug in a little bit more on this point of sharpening each other with this interaction. And so, even though it wasn't really clearly defined, they did define what they want. Okay, well, we want more interaction. We want less, these big 6 to 10 minute monologues. We want to hear more back and forth, and then they just leave. Well, was there something else? Okay, so now we are picking up the gems of this community and more nuggets by interacting, by hanging out, and by actually listening to each other. Listening to each other is a powerful gift that we're giving to each other. It doesn't cost anything, but it certainly will enrich ourselves. And often, when we do listen intently and at a genuine level, we are connecting with that person's energy. We're all in this space. We are connecting with each other right now. We are connected. We are brothers and sisters in this community. Even when we're not in this space, there is this understanding and connection that we are all vibing together. And I think that's really beautiful to have that. So, without further ado, let's welcome Kiki, a long-time early supporter of the Positivity Vibe Tribe and a dear friend. And I know you can't always speak in the spaces, but thank you for always dropping into the spaces. Really, so much love, light, and blessings to you, Kiki.
Oh, you're welcome. I really do make an effort to come to the spaces. In the summer was difficult because my lunch was at a different time. However, during the winter, I always make it a point during the school year, the regular school year. So I just want to bring together the last 2 points that Donika made and was it Victor? I don't want to mess up the name. But I just want to bring together these 2 points and say that as we travel in life, I don't know who has read The Secret or seen the movie. The people that we meet are not there randomly. I don't believe in randomness and random events. We meet people that help us in our journey. Some people stay for a very, very long time. I'm going to give an example. I have a friend that I know for the past 30 years. We have traveled a very long journey together, a very long road. Some people come and then they leave, and they're there to teach us a lesson, or they're there to help us because they're there at the right moment. Some people we meet and they can travel with us midway, and then we make different decisions in life, and then our life changes, our friendship changes, our location may change, but because we grow, we are not trees. We can move to other places, we can meet other people, and that's what we are. We need to believe in our flexibility and our ability to change, and if we need to change, we need to change for ourselves first. So that's what was that was my message. It. Uh, and thank you so much.
I love it, Kiki. On the mark, 2 minutes. Love it so much. And so much value. That was such a beautiful integration over into nature. And that you mentioned that, hey, we are not trees, but in fact, we have movement and we're not limited to one place. We can travel anywhere. I was just, when you said that, it just kind of just flooded up in front of my eyes. All the travels that that I've had, starting with, Australia, within Australia, moving and working in the UK and Europe, all over Europe, and then ending up in the US. I mean, this is craziness, you know, and it really just kind of just hit me in the face that I hadn't even realized that we are traveling and connecting with people all over the world. And even though I'm here, I'm still connected with people. As you said, people come and go, Kiki, in our life, and they teach us lessons. And I'm still connected with people that are all over Europe, from working in Europe, and friends and family in Australia and everywhere. And I continue to just keep building these beautiful connections through people in the spaces, in the Positivity Vibe Tribe. I mean, it truly is a blessing. Hey, I also want to give a shout out to the Positivity Vibe Tribe. Our partner, Bunsen Abika, have just entered the space. Speaking of positive vibes, they are incredible as partners. You can't get any more positive than positivity and cuteness. So there it is. And there are some people that are going to help us on our journey and be supportive. And speaking of our partners, so just embrace those people along the way, and just do the best that you can do to enhance these relationships as you're growing and learning along the way. Just remember that so is everybody else. We're all trying to find our way in this world, and we're not perfect. And that doesn't mean also with connecting to ourselves and with others, like we're doing in this space, that we're going to be our best selves every day. We certainly want to do that. We want to be accountable, but always show kindness to yourself if you aren't at 100% every single day, because that is normal and you are a human. I want to thank everybody in this space, especially today, because I love experiments, and we went with the chimes today, and everybody honored the chimes. So thank you for that. And I am hoping, and I see some messages, and I didn't want to go until the end of the space, until the space is over, from some of the people who are avid listeners and love to listen every week, who have been giving me a little bit of trinkets of feedback now and again, and I really love that. And actually, I feel as if I have been also listening more intently myself, because I know there's only 2 minutes for this person to share their nuggets, and then we move on. And yes, we can come back to that person, but I'm tweaking to seeing, oh, well, what are you going to be saying in your 2 minutes? And then I'm curious to know then what the other person is going to chime in with. And this has really worked beautiful. And thank you to also, there's a couple of people, and I see that I haven't got to your DMs. You were speaking the space, and I could see that you're thanking me as a first thing, and that you've had fun so far with this new chimes, because we want to make it about connection. And this is certainly something when we stick to our connection of listening to each other and valuing each other. So as we wind up the space, let's just do a quick commercial break up to the top of their space to the nest, the nesty nest, as some of my friends call it, which is a dots above Ron's head. First of all, there is the Super Followers, which is a paid monthly subscription. And at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am having my second Super Followers space. So Super Followers receive exclusive content from me, and also there is always a exclusive space where we travel through a different topic. Sometimes we did the very first one, we covered off some spirituality at their request, because it's all about what you guys want to hear. And then we also went into some detail about my journey as a producer here in Hollywood. And I will be bringing some VIP people, some of my friends, to some of these upcoming spaces. So that is part of the subscription. Thank you to all of my super followers for your support. The next thing up there is, of course, I have the Attract Your Tribe YouTube show. So it's my take in under 10 minutes on Attract Your Tribe, and some ways that I have been learning the lessons along the way. And if it's helpful to you, I'd love to hear your comments. There is also the partner that goes with that, which is the Attract Your Tribe affirmations. And that is a guided affirmation journey, which is also on my YouTube channel. And I hope that is helpful to get you into the right vibe, mode, and to attract more goodness into your life, into your journey. I truly wish that for all of you. For those, I see a couple of new faces who've joined us that aren't part of the Positivity Vibe Tribe community. There is a link up in the nest, or you can send a DM to either Ron or myself. Do join the community and be part of the beautiful vibes that are in that community. Daily posts, daily quotes, daily support, daily just inspiration. Every time I go there, it warms my heart. I thank you all for being this huge part of this community. And then also, one of the things that's up in the nest is Monday evening was my release for the Positivity Vibe Tribe Universe NFTs, and they are on the Galaxy platform. So very, very exciting that we have now ventured into the universe of NFTs. And our team member, our PVT team member, Stephen Caggiano, is our artist on that. And he couldn't make it today because he was not well. But he is truly talented, and I thank him for all of the work that he has done with the NFTs. And it's truly exciting to have this first collection out and available. Lastly, thank you to our sponsors, Wordsmith Pakistan, for sponsoring this show. And if anybody needs some support with their creative content, reach out to them, as their contact information is right there up in the nest. Okay, so because we are making this very interactive, let's swing past our speakers. If Jason from Bunsen and Beaker if you'd like to chime in, if you're able to. I know that a lot of the time you cannot because you are busy working. Feel free to jump up and add your thoughts on this topic, Attract Your Tribe. But we're truly I am truly blessed to have you in my life and as a partner. Love it so much. Okay, so let's go to Donica. What are your thoughts as a summary on this amazing journey that we've had in the space of Attract Your Tribe?
First of all, thank you. It was amazing. I can say hands down one of the best spaces that I stayed throughout. And positivity, like uplifting words, sense of uh, humor in here, and it was like good vibe and good energy overall. I just like it. I love the 2 minutes because it prepare people to take that, to bring the confidence and remove that anxiety. Can I do it or not? And asking yourself, just practice. You give them the space and you give them the time frame so they can go home and practice. So it is beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. And continue to support each other, say each other's name, and say something good about the space because there are so many good gems and nuggets in here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Donica. And thank you for staying throughout the space as well to make this interactive, this little experiment. And this experiment comes from you guys. So thank you for sharing your thoughts. Okay. Kiki, what are your thoughts about today's space and interactive mode?
I really appreciate it. I think it was in one of your spaces that we did contemplate this idea of having a timer. I do not recall offhand the guest speaker that you had, but I do recall with great clarity that it was in one of your spaces that it was suggested. And I remember that you did like to entertain the idea, and I'm glad that you actually went for it. So kudos for that. And I do think that it gives more people the opportunity to speak up. And like Donika said, I want to mirror that and say that it is absolutely important that we do learn to stick with the subject. It's important in public speaking as well, and be concise in what we have to say. So it helps us be precise with our wording, and it does help get the message across. So really appreciated the positivity in the space as always. However, this new feature, this new that you're trying, is very interesting. So kudos to that again. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kiki, for the encouragement, ongoing encouragement in this space. Love it so much. And thank you for playing along with this. And yes, there have been some earlier spaces where somebody suggested this. And that was several months ago. And then they were one of the people that also gave the feedback of recently listening, and they were timing people. So I ended up timing people yesterday just to check, like, really? Are they going like 6 minutes or 10 minutes? And yes. And that's why yesterday was a total test space. I started to time everybody. And I was thinking, okay, the community is absolutely 100% correct. And let's try this interactive mode. And, it's really been fun. I've loved it. Okay, Darius, over to you. What are your thoughts on today's space, the topic, Attract Your Tribe, and then our new interactive mode?
First of all, Kiki, do you love me? I had and I love it. It's amazing. Listen, if you can't get out what you gotta say in 2 minutes, aw,
Aw.
she got it out. But if you can't get out what you gotta say in 2 minutes, come on, guys, we gotta work on that. We gotta sharpen it up. Elevator pitches only. Donika, thank you for the DM. Donika said some amazing and stroked my ego. I hit her back with the sarcasm. I hope you got that, Donika. And I actually hope she tweets it out because it's amazing. So thank you for that. And very quickly, my last 30 seconds. Faith is power to the people whom can't see it all. Yet at least then you can see it all. Committed to a sin, cause without you crawl. No pretend on stall. When as divinity calls. When your aura is possessed by love, it also means you're fearless. One with God, nothing can come between this. Air, space, time, the genius like an intravenous. Amen. Cause if we say it, then you know we mean this. Let's go.
Let's go, Darius. Loved it so much. Thank you for the
Try.
treat. That's it. You get the vibe in this tribe, Darius. You really do. Love it so much. Thank you so much. And I loved your point about that we all need to be able to, and Kiki also mentioned this as well, in 2 minutes and under, we should be able to speak succinctly. And it should also be good practice for us to get our points across and take this out into the real world. So many public speaking events made many times when we can speak in other spaces, even when we're interacting for work, for Zoom, in meetings, we should be able to speak succinctly about our point and get it across in the under 2 minutes mode and inspire others and feel confident that we can prepare ourselves to speak for that time. And many of our speakers did it beautifully today. And there is this interactive natural mode that has happened just because of this. So love it so much. Thank you for those points. Ron, let's wrap this vibe tribe up, shall
Yeah.
we?
I have to follow Darius. Oh my goodness, that was awesome, Darius. So great when you do that, man. You have to keep I have to keep a notebook beside me, just and not to be competitive, but just that he inspires me to do the same. But I couldn't replicate that. But I think it was a great success today. Just amazing. It changed the whole energy of what the space can be. And I just want to say thank you, Indra, again for just responding to that information from people that were giving you that feedback. And I just want to say that I just feel blessed to be in this community, in this space, because we can be positive, we can lift each other up, and we can be vulnerable and not be judged by that. I think that's really important in life, and also to be authentic. And I just want to thank all the speakers. I also want to make one note. I know that the person that I highlighted today, her name is Kelly Nicole, and there's another Kelly whom we love very much. But the one that I highlighted, she has a black and white photo and a sunflower in front of her profile. So that's the one. So thank you again, Kelly Nicole, and thank you to everybody. It's just been a great space. It's gone by so fast because I enjoyed it so much, and I think it's just the great method to do these spaces. So thank you, Indra, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Ron, for wrapping us up there. And actually, we went longer today in the space because it was so interactive. It was just incredible and really lively. And I've just been seeing emojis going off even when I ask people, hey, is this okay if you do it this way? So a lot of the speakers have just been going crazy with the emojis today because they've been enjoying interactive mode. And everybody's listening and sharing between each other. And so many, I know it's actually, we went over the 2-hour mark. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, believe it or not, which is really long for our space. Yes, incredible. So because of this interactive mode, I am thankful for the feedback that people felt comfortable to share this with me. And as Kiki said, it was a couple of months ago, even when somebody suggested it the very first time. And then more people had been making suggestions. So we want these spaces to be lively, to be just constantly evolving. So thank you all for contributing. Thank you for being here. I have to say thank you to my co-hosts. Rev MacLive had to leave. He's not feeling well. Thank you to my co-host, Ron, for all that you do here as the chief wrangler of all the community moderators. Thank you for wrangling them all up, the entire team, and all that you do. Thank you to the speakers for playing along with this incredible experiment. Really appreciate you and all that you bring to the space. And many of you had stayed, and like I said, just a couple had dropped off at the 2-hour mark. 2 hours you guys have been staying in this space, chatting it up and continuing to contribute. Incredible. And the space just flew past. I cannot believe it. We are at the 2-hour and 20-minute mark because of this interactive mode. it took a life of its own, a lease on life that has refreshed the vibe in this tribe. So, thank you to the speakers for playing along with this experiment. Thank you to the listeners for your emojis. Thank you to everybody. Look, we have over 70 comments in the chat feature. I'm going to have to dive in there afterwards, and I know Ron will too, to catch up on all the beautiful gems that are dropped there. Thank you to the speakers for actually being so interactive and dropping so many more emojis and being present in this space and dropping your comments in the comment feature in the chat. So we are going to be back next Monday evening, back in the Positivity Vibe Tribe at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Super excited to continue on this path of interactive mode with everybody, and wishing you an incredible weekend. Have a fun, amazing weekend. Remember to add some self-care in there for yourself. And I am sending you all love, light, and blessings.
Have a great day, everyone.